Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Thank you. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, and home-brewed 5e items for your games. We've reached the final video of Grim Darktober and our final member of the Officio Assassinorum, for now, the Vanus. Out of all the temples of the Assassinorum, the Vanus are by far the strangest. They are not expert snipers, master infiltrators, raging berserkers, chemical savants, or fear-inducing life forms. They're hackers and spy masters. The Vanus's main tool of assassination is by far the most powerful: information. Once they are given a target, they begin compiling everything they can about said target. And I mean everything. I'm talking the names on everyone you follow on social media, the names of kids you went to preschool with, and your credit score. That type of everything. No detail is too small for them to overlook. Once they are satisfied with what they have, the real work begins. They are experts at not only leaving no evidence, but there's a 99.9999999% chance the target will never know they are in danger. Maybe machinery will randomly fail and the targets will be crushed. Maybe numbers on medication will change and now the targets have a much stronger dosage. Or maybe the whole economy of a city will collapse and the targets will find themselves in the middle of mass riots. Yeah, they go that hard. Though they prefer to never see their targets in the flesh, that doesn't mean they aren't ready for a fight. Vanessa assassins customize their kit to suit their needs. These can include micro-concealed lasers, beast-like machines ready to attack, bombs, and data-spike daggers, concealed wrist-mounted blades that can be used to infect machines and slice flesh. They also plan out their bases of operation to perfection, preferring hidden areas inside ships and buildings that are protected against spying or even their own teammates. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, plus spells from several other books. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums if you use another system. Make intelligence 15, dex 14, wisdom 13, con 12, strength 10, and we're going to dump charisma with an 8. Out of all the assassins, the Vaness are the least liked by their peers, due to the fact they already planned everything everyone else will say and finish conversations before they even start. Yeah, they do that. Not really how you should act amongst trained killers that already don't like each other. Vaness are humans, like everyone else who works for the God Emperor. Big E is not an equal opportunity employer. Resourceful gives you inspiration after the end of a long rest. Skillful grants you a free skill. Take athletics because you do have to be in shape to pass temple tests. Assassin schools have a high mortality rate. Versatile gives you a free origin feat. For this feat, Skilled gives you 3 proficiencies in tools or skills. Take the skills Perception, History, and Acrobatics. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Intelligence. For your origin feat, Alert makes you more prepared to fight by adding your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls, and before combat you can switch places with a willing ally in initiative order. For skills, take Arcana and Religion. For your final proficiencies, take proficiency in Forgery Kit and Tinkerer's Tools. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Take Stealth, Investigation, Insight, and Deception. We'll fix your bad charisma later. You're proficient in all weapons that have the light or finesse property, Thieves' Tools, Light Armor, and the saving throws Dex and Intelligence. Expertise doubles the proficiency bonus to 2 skills. Place this into Investigation and Deception. Thieves' Cant grants you 2 more languages, the first being Thieves' Cant, a coded language used by criminals, and 1 more of your choice. Sneak Attack adds bonus damage to an attack once per turn when you make an attack with a finesse or ranged weapon and have advantage on the attack or an ally is within 5 feet of the target of your attack. This starts off at a d6 but will grow as we level up. Level 1 wizards begin with spell casting. You have a spell book containing all your spells you know, and you can prepare a total number of spells after a long rest that equals your prepared spell number on your wizard stat block. It starts off at 4 spells but will grow over time. You know 3 cantrips and 6 first level spells of your choice. Arcane Recovery allows you to recover limited spell slots faster, which would normally be after a long rest. Now after a short rest, you will recover a total number of spell slots in levels equal to half your wizard level, meaning if you're level 4 you can get back 1 level 2 or 2 level 1s. But these can never be higher than 5th level, meaning 6 and higher is off limits. You can do this once per long rest. Ritual casting means you can cast spells with the ritual tag as ritual even if you don't have them prepared. That's gonna come in handy. For your spells, Firebolt fires a micro laser out to 120 feet and deals 1d10 fire damage on a hit. Mage Hand gives you a tiny servo skull drone that you can control for 1 minute. This drone can go out to 30 feet and can perform simple tasks such as opening a door or window or retrieving something that weighs no more than 10 pounds. Message allows for short communication between you and someone within 120 feet that you can see. You whisper a message to them and only they can hear it, and they can reply back and only you can hear that. Comprehend Languages allows you to understand any language you hear or see for 1 hour. You will read slower though, just so you know. Detect Magic allows you to scan the area within 30 feet of you for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. This scan will reveal anything under a magical effect or spell, and with an action you can determine what school the effect is from. Identify allows you to scan an item or creature and you will know what magical effect or spell is affecting them and all information about it after 1 minute, or 10 if you cast this as a ritual. This information can be if it requires attunement, how many charges it has, what spell is affecting it, and so on. Mage Armor gives you a personal force field when you're not wearing armor. For 8 hours, you will have an AC of 13 plus your dex modifier. Shield grants you a quick force field that adds +5 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops magic missile from hitting you for 1 turn. Gift of Alacrity alerts you to danger by adding 1d8 to your initiative rolls for 8 hours. Level 2 wizards gain Scholar. You get expertise in 1 skill. Place this into Arcana. For your new spells, Illusionary Script creates coded messages for you and your team to communicate in secret with. For 10 days, a parchment you have written appears as if it makes no sense or seems that it has a message with no meaning, but you and any creature you designate can read it perfectly fine. At the end of the 10 days, the message can be read by anyone. This is a ritual, so you can do it without preparing it. Alarm creates a visible sensor that fills a 20-foot cube within 30 feet of you. For 8 hours, anyone who passes through the sensor that you have not designated, you will automatically be alerted to it if you are within 1 mile, even if you are asleep. This is also a ritual, so you don't need to prepare it. Level 3 wizards now have access to their subclass. Vanus are the masters of plans and always being prepared, so let's go with Diviner, found in the player's handbook. Divination Savant gives you 2 free spells from the Divination school that are 1st or 2nd level. More on that in a second. Also, every time you gain a level in Wizard, you can choose to gain a free Divination spell with your 2 new spells you gain, but as with your normal spells, it can only be from a level of spells that you have access to. Portent allows you to always have the upper hand by rolling 2 d20s at the end of a long rest, and save those results. Before your next long rest, you can use those numbers to replace any d20 test that you or a creature you can see, losing the saved result once you use it. You can do this once per turn. You also now have 2nd level spells. For your free divination spells, Augury allows you to focus yourself and let you see the path a decision will take. After 1 minute, or if you cast this as a ritual 10 minutes, you can learn if a plan you will take in the next 30 minutes will go well. When you cast this spell, the DM will say weal for good, woe for bad, weal and woe for both, or indifferent if it doesn't matter, to describe how the plan will work. This does not take into account anything you don't know. If you cast this spell again before the end of a long rest, there's a 20% chance it will will not work. See Invisibility allows you to see invisible creatures or into the ethereal plane for 1 hour. For your new spells, Enhance Ability improves your skills or your allies' skills. For 1 hour while you maintain this spell, a willing creature you touch will gain advantage on all skill checks that are related to a chosen stat you pick when you cast the spell. Scorching Ray fires 3 laser blasts out to 120 feet, targeting the same creature or each a different creature, dealing 2d6 fire damage on a hit. Level 4 Wizards earn our first ability score improvement. Bump up intelligence for a better spell attack and DC. For your free divination spell, Locate Object allows you to scan and find the location of an object that you can name or describe that is within 1,000 feet of you for 10 minutes while you maintain this spell. For your new spells, True Strike energizes your weapon. Using this cantrip allows your weapon to attack using your intelligence modifier for attack and damage. You can change out your weapon's damage type to be radiant, and you will add 1d6 extra radiant damage on top of it. Blur is a personal cloaking field that distorts your image for 1 minute while you maintain the spell, causing all attacks against you to be at disadvantage, but this will not work if the creature attacking you has true sight or blind sight. Spider Climb grants you a climbing speed and the ability to move across any solid surface, including upside down, for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. You've reached character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Firebolt now deals 2d10 fire damage. Level 5 Wizards receive Memorize Spell. Now at the end of a short rest, you can choose to prepare a different spell of first level, allowing you to switch something out. You also receive 3rd level spells. For your free divination spell, Sending allows you to send a message to a creature you know or can describe regardless of the distance. This message must be 25 words or less, and when they receive the message they can reply. If they are unwilling, they can block you from communicating with them for 8 hours. Also, you can attempt to send the message across dimensions, but there is a 5% chance it will fail. This spell is great to communicate with your team at a distance. For your new spell, Non-Detection makes you invisible to divination spells for 8 hours. While the spell is active, you can't be targeted or seen by spells like Hunter's Mark, Scrying, or Arcane Eye, or any magical scrying sensors. Glyph of Warding allows you to place a bomb, or any spell really. Creating a mark on any surface that takes 1 hour to make, you can set the trigger that will set it off. The mark is not invisible and can be found with a successful perception check against your spell DC. That being said, it could be on the inside of a book, and the trigger is when the book is open. You can set this as a bomb, and when it goes off, it explodes into a 20-foot radius sphere. Everyone within the sphere must make a dex save or take 5d8 damage of the type you choose when casting the spell. This type can be fire, acid, cold, lightning, or thunder. You can also store a 3rd level spell or lower by casting it at the same time as the spell, activating the spell when the trigger goes off. And you can upcast this to add d8s to the damage or store higher level spells that are equal to the same spell level you're casting it at. Heads up, this will cost 20 gold worth of powdered diamond each time you cast it. So if you plan on making a nuke, make sure you're loaded. Yeah, you can make a nuke with this by placing a glyph on every page of a book and make the trigger a word, or if anyone other than you opens it. If the book has 20 pages, that's 100 d8s of whatever type of damage you want. Fun idea, just keep it away from your team. Don't want accidents. Level 2 Rogues gain Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions to you. Level 3 Rogues now have their subclass. Assassin from the player's handbook will work because you don't need any crazy that isn't from Wizard. Assassin's Tools gives you proficiency in Poisoner's Kit and Disguise Kit. Assassinate gives you advantage on initiative rolls, and during the first round of combat you have advantage on attacks against a creature that hasn't taken its turn yet. If your sneak attack hits against that creature, you will deal extra damage equal to your rogue level. Steady Aim gives you advantage on your next attack by using your bonus action on a turn you haven't moved, but it will reduce your speed to 0 until the end of your turn. Your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Level 4 Rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. You've reached character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus up to +4. Level 5 rogues receive Uncanny Dodge. Now when you take damage and can see what is causing the damage, you can use your reaction to halve the damage. Cunning Strike lets you add effects to your sneak attack damage at the cost of a damage dice. When you deal damage with a sneak attack, you can subtract a die to add an effect, and you can only have one effect with your sneak attack. For these effects, Trip costs 1d6 and you force a dex save when you hit, making them fall prone if they fail. Withdrawal costs 1d6 and immediately after you hit, you can disengage and move half your speed. Poison costs 1d6 and forces a con save, poisoning them for 1 minute if they fail. They may retake the save at the end of each of their turns to end this, but you must have the Poisoner's Kit on you to do this. Finally, your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 rogues gain 2 more expertise. Place this into stealth and perception. You've hit character level 11, Firebolt now deals 3d10 fire damage, and True Strike now deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage. Level 6 Diviner Wizards receive Expert Divination. Now when you cast a Divination spell, you regain a used spell slot. The spell slot must be 1 level lower than the spell you cast and cannot be above 5th level. For your new Divination spell, Clairvoyance gives you a spy device that lasts for 10 minutes while you maintain this spell. While active, you create a spell sensor at a location that is familiar to you within 1 mile of you. Once you cast this spell, you choose if the device can hear or see at the location, and you can switch between the senses with a bonus action. A creature that can see through invisibility, like True Sight, can see the sensor. For your new spell, Fireball throws a grenade out to 120 feet and then explodes into a 20-foot radius sphere. Every creature within the sphere must make a dex save or take 8d6 fire damage. Tongues allows you to understand any language you hear and read for 1 hour, but you will read slower than normal. Level 7 wizards now have 4th level spells. For your new divination spell, Arcane Eye allows you to send out an invisible spy drone out to 30 feet for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. You mentally receive visuals from the drone, and it has dark vision out to 30 feet. As a bonus action, you can move the drone 30 feet. For your new spells, Divination allows you to focus on your plans or events much further than Augury, asking the DM about a specific goal, event, or activity that will happen within the next 7 days. The DM will answer truthfully, but this can be a short phrase or cryptic message. As with Augury, this only accounts for what you know and no other events. If you cast this spell again before finishing a long rest, there is a chance it will fail. Dispel Magic allows you to shut down a magical effect within 30 feet. This effect must be a level 3 or lower to automatically shut it down, and if the effect is level 4 or higher, you must make a check. The DC for this check is 10 plus the spell level, shutting down the effect on a success, and you can upcast this to automatically shut down higher level spells. You've reached character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 8 wizards earn another ability score improvement. Wipe out that negative and place this into charisma. For your new divination spell, Locate Creature allows you to track a target for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Describing or naming a creature you're familiar with, you know their direction if they are within 1,000 feet of you. For your new spells, Mordecainem's Private Sanctum creates a private zone for you and your team for missions. You designate a zone that can be up to a 100 foot by 100 foot cube, and for 24 hours, this zone is your safe house. When you cast it, you customize its features. You can make it so no sound can pass through the zone, no one can see into it, divination spells can't pierce it, and nothing can teleport into it. You can increase the size of the cube by upcasting it, and you can make it permanent by casting it on the same spot for a year. Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound creates an invisible guard drone for up to 8 hours. When summoned, it stays within 300 feet of you and you can only see it. You can specify a password for others to use, alerting you if they don't speak it. On your turn in combat, it can attack a creature, forcing a dex save and dealing 4d8 force damage on a failure, and you can use your action to move it 30 feet. Level 9 wizards gain 5th level spells. For your new divination spell, Scrying allows you to spy on someone or an area for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. And heads up, it takes 10 minutes to cast. Targeting a creature no matter the distance, you force a wisdom save, and the DC for this save is altered depending on how well you know them or if you have anything of theirs. If they fail, an invisible sensor is created within 10 feet, and while the spell is active, you can see and hear from the sensor, and the sensor will follow the target. If you choose a location location, there is no save needed and the sensor doesn't move. For your new spells, we're grabbing them from other books. Skill Empowerment from Xanathars will grant you or a willing creature you touch expertise in one skill of your choice for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. The chosen creature must have the skill you are giving expertise in, and it must not already have expertise in that skill. Create Spelljamming Helm from Spelljammers is giving you a spaceship. Seriously, this is what it does. I love this spell. Taking a crystal rod worth 5,000 gold and a chair, you create a Spelljamming Helm. Once placed on a vessel that weighs 1 ton or more, the vessel is turned into a Spelljammer. Once a spellcaster or anyone that can cast a single spell attunes to the chair, the vessel can now fly and travel into space. You now have a mobile base of operations. If your DM doesn't allow space travel, I am so sorry for you, but maybe talk to them about having a flying ship instead. I'm sorry, I don't like high fantasy. It's arcane punk for me, or horror, or nothing. Level 10 Diviner Wizards receive the Third Eye. As a bonus action, you can give yourself a benefit of this feature until you finish a short or long rest. You can give yourself Dark Vision out to 120 feet, read any language, or can cast See Invisibility without a spell slot. You can do this once per short or long rest. For your new Divination spell, Legend Lore allows you to access information on your target. Naming a famous person, place, or thing, after casting this spell for 10 minutes, you learn everything important that can be known with a brief summary. For your new spells, Air Bubble from Spelljammers creates a bubble of breathable air around your head, or the head of a willing creature within 60 feet for 24 hours, allowing you to breathe fresh air and not suffocate. If your DM doesn't allow this spell because it's Spelljammers, trade it out for water breathing, which basically works similar with a little bit of change. Stinking Cloud unleashes a cloud of toxic gas out to 90 feet from you. This cloud is a 20-foot radius sphere and heavily obscures the area. Each creature that starts within the sphere must make a con save or be poisoned until the end of your current turn. This cloud lasts for 1 minute while you maintain it, or until it's dispersed. You get your final cantrip here, have fun choosing. Level 11 wizards now have 6 level spells. For your divination spell, True Seeing grants you true sight out to 120 feet for 1 hour. This will allow you to see through illusions, invisible creatures, shapeshifters, and both normal and magical darkness. For your new spells, Contingency allows you to create a backup plan for emergencies by creating a contingency spell. While holding a small gem-encrusted statuette, you cast this spell in a second spell at 5th level or lower, burning both spell slots at once. The second spell is now stored and ready to go when a trigger happens. Like when you dive in water, Air Bubble is cast on yourself. This lasts for up to 10 days and will end early if you cast this spell again or the statuette is no longer on your person. Sunbeam fires a beam of intense heat. Firing a 5-foot wide, 60-foot long beam, each creature within the beam must make a con save or take 6d8 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of their next turn. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, you can use your action to fire the beam again, and until the spell ends, you have a mote of light that sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light in an additional 30-foot radius, and this counts as sunlight. You've hit character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Firebolt now deals 4d10 fire damage, and True Strike deals an extra 3d6 radiant damage. Level 12 wizards earn our final ability score improvement, Bump Up Dex for better attack, damage, AC, and stealth. For your new divination spell, take what you want. In fact, choose your own normal spells as well. We're good up to this point and only need 2 more spells. You can add some really powerful spells to really customize your kit here. Level 13 wizards gain 7th level spells. For your new divination spell, take what you want. For your new spell, Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion gives you a great secret base of operations. For 24 hours, you summon a door that leads to a mansion of your own design. This mansion is constructed of 50 10 by 10 foot cubes that you decide the placement, so you can have multiple rooms or a single large room. This mansion is fully furnished and stocked with what you need, including up to 100 near transparent servants that will obey all your orders but can't fight. Though that doesn't matter, when the door is closed, no one can get in. When the spell ends, the mansion vanishes and everyone and every object within is harmlessly removed. Symbol creates the ultimate trap, placing a glyph on a surface that must remain stationary, and after 1 minute of preparing the glyph, you set its trigger in effect. I would suggest stepping on it as a trigger or someone touching an object. When triggered, the glyph vanishes and explodes into a 60-foot sphere and unleashes the effect, and the sphere must remain for 10 minutes, causing the effect if anyone enters it. There are several effects, including 10d10 necrotic damage, stunning them, knocking them down, and more. Our final level is level 14 Wizards and Diviner's Greater Portent. Now when you roll for your portent, you roll 3 d20s instead of 2. For your final divination spell, once more take what you want. There's a lot of good ones, but I can't give them to you because of the lore. For your final spells, take what you want. I would suggest getting some more damage spells for combat that have different damage types to be able to change things up. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 18, Con 12, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 13, Charisma 10. Your total levels are Rogue 6, Wizard 14. Let's dive in. You are a spy master. You can communicate with your team, spy on people, set magical traps, block magical spying methods, can understand any language, can see invisible creatures, have several drones to perform set tasks, you have proficiency in several kits, get anywhere you want, prepare yourself for different situations, can create a transport vessel for your team, and can have a secret base anywhere. You're also pretty deadly with several energy weapons, the most basic of which deals 4d10 fire damage on a hit, and the strongest dealing 6d8 radiant damage to multiple creatures. You also have a personal force field that gives you an AC of 17, can add 5 to that, and you can distort your image to make all attacks against you at disadvantage. Finally, you actually can be well prepared for anything. You can add a d8 to your initiative that is also at advantage. You have 3 d20s that you can use to replace any d20 test, and can figure out if plans will work and change accordingly. Downside. Firstly, for a spy, your charisma is garbage until halfway through the build, and even then, it's still +0 before proficiency bonus, so you're going to suck at lying. You're more geared towards intelligence work and less into combat. You have good options, but your team will really have to focus on that and let you do you. You do have the Spellcaster's Curse of concentration spells and a lot of really good options, with only able to prepare 17 spells and over 30 spells to choose from. Thankfully, you don't need to prepare the ritual spells, and you can take time to plan what you need. But damn, is there a lot of options. I'm going to be honest with you guys, a Vanus is subtle and careful, so you need to take time with this. Learn all you can and control the situations before you, and then bring an end to those who stand against the God Emperor. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Dens, Burton, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.